Week 13, ranked matchups, college football, FBS level, coming from you from the UK Wildcats Sports Channel. This week is rivalry week, and we got a lot of interesting matchups here, and this right here is going to determine a lot for the playoffs here, coming down here. And I will be being joined here by my brother Brady today to talk about some of these games and who we think is going to win. And yes, I do have Jim Harbaugh gray right now because he is, kind of has a little timeout right now. But besides the point, let's get into it as we got some big matchups to talk about this week. The Egg Bowl, Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Now, matchup predictor, and the line has Ole Miss to win. It's on Thursday, so that's your only ranked game happening on Thursday. So if you don't have it, so that's tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So always might be an interesting one to see, but I think Ole Miss will have this win here. Mississippi State will not be going bowl eligible. What do you think here, Brady?
I think Ole Miss will probably have this easily. Like Kentucky handled Mississippi State, so should Ole Miss. It's probably going to be not even a close game.
So we're using the transitive property. Good. I learned that in geometry. All right, let's continue. Oklahoma and TCU. TCU might not even make a bowl game for making the playoffs last year. This is what I mean. Yeah, that's why we should have let TCU last year anyways. But so we have Oklahoma, 2 losses against Kansas and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this team. I think they're a good team. I just don't. But TCU's not a good team, so it will be Oklahoma win, maybe by 13 points here. Being at Oklahoma 2. What do you think here, Brady?
I think this will be a little closer because Oklahoma has struggled against like UCF, like other teams. Like they lost to Kansas and lost to Oklahoma State. So I think it will be a little closer than it should be, but this will be a little interesting matchup. But I think Oklahoma probably come out probably by 14.
Alrighty. Iowa and Nebraska at Nebraska. Now on the line, it's by 2. It's Nebraska by 2.5 right as of recording. It's on Friday too, at 12 o'clock. So that will be a good game to watch if you don't have anything going on Friday. And match prediction has Iowa. I think Nebraska's going to win here. Iowa's offense does not look strong at all. They struggled against Illinois last week. I mean, it's just not looked good. I mean, it's just not. It's gonna be a low scoring game, Big Ten game, probably like 17-13 or something. It's gonna Iowa, however, Nebraska's gonna come on top, trying to fight for that bowl eligibility. What do you think here, Brady?
I think Iowa can come on top, but like their defense has to play a little harder today. No, tomorrow. Nebraska, like they probably will try to play a little harder, but like Iowa.
One a team always want to try to play harder.
Okay, whatever. I think Iowa will be able to come on top. So
I will point something out though. Iowa's the lowest ranked 2-loss team right now for a reason. I mean, they have teams above them with 3 losses. They're just not. The College Football Playoff Committee sees it. They're just not that is good. To UTSA at Tulane or University of Texas at San Antonio is what I should say. My bad. Tulane versus Tulane. Okay. On the line, Tulane's to win here, but I don't think this is the case here, folks. It's just not. UTSA is just proven to be. I think they've come off after those first 3 losses they had. They're undefeated in conference. Tulane is 2. Tulane's just not looked good. They've not. They've failed to meet up with the spread. Now this last game they finally did, but no. On Friday on 3:30, UTSA is going to win. What do you think, here, Ray?
I think this is gonna I think UTSA is gonna show that why Tulane should not be ranked because Tulane they've won against 3 against schools that UTSA probably could win to get 10 against probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tulane last year they were good, but they probably had a big downfall. Well, not big, but they had a tiny bit downfall.
One loss equals a downfall. There you have it, folks.
Yes, but no, okay, but I'm just saying, their team's not as good last year.
I see. Okay. I see. One loss is better than 2 1 loss is Apparently not as good as 2 losses.
But their team's not good as last year. I'm just saying.
All righty, there you have it. They're not as good. Missouri versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. I don't really like Arkansas, so I don't know why I did that. But Arkansas, no shot. That's all you need to know. Alrighty. Texas Tech in Texas. Wait a minute. Oh, I skipped over one. You know what? We'll talk about it. Okay, so Missouri. They're going 10-2 here. They'll get a good bowl game here. They're going to be one of the top in the SEC who's out unless Alabama wins. So, yeah, they'll probably be second. But they've had a good year, Missouri has. I think this is a great season for their program. They're going to win here. Arkansas has no chance. Arkansas is, I think it's going to be Missouri by like 9. Missouri didn't, yeah, I'm saying the spread. No, Missouri, though, played not good against Florida last week, but I think they'll come out on top here. What do you think, Bray?
Like, Missouri, if you did not see what they did against Tennessee, they absolutely just took them and said, you did not deserve to be ranked.
Who?
Tennessee.
Tennessee? Well, they should be ranked.
Yeah, in Missouri, I think it was 36-7. I feel like Missouri will do even worse to Arkansas, so this is going to be an interesting blowout we'll see here.
Alrighty, back to Texas Tech in Texas. Texas Tech, you're gonna lose. It's Texas at this point. It's. We'll talk about this tomorrow, maybe. How Texas can get in the playoffs, but Texas just wins out here. They're gonna win this. There's not much to talk about here. I mean, Texas Tech's been Texas Tech. They're already bowl eligible. Texas is gonna win. That's real. Would you agree with that, Bray?
Yeah, I think Texas Tech. I think Texas is probably gonna win by a lot here.
Alrighty, a lot. That's all we need to know. All right. Penn State and Michigan State. Penn State will win. Would you agree? There's nothing really to talk about here.
Yeah, Penn State. Penn State's had a pretty good season. Michigan State really not.
Yeah, Michigan State's just not as good as they were a few years ago. Oregon State and Oregon. Now, here's a good one right here. Oregon Ducks versus Oregon State Beavers.
The Beavers versus the Ducks.
Alrighty. So at 8:30 on Friday, again, a lot of Friday games you might notice. This is something to watch late night, I guess if you want to. But who will win? Well, I think Oregon will win by a lot here. Not by a lot, but 14 points as a spread or 10. Oregon's a good team. Poor Oregon State having the face-off against the two best teams in the Pac-12 now, 2 weeks in a row. Oregon wins here and beats Washington. They're in the playoffs. I'm saying it. I'm calling it there. I don't see any scenario where they're not. So I think Oregon wins here. Oregon State, it'll look close, but Oregon will be on top the whole time. What do you think, Brady?
I think Oregon's gonna win this probably by 10 points, maybe. But if Oregon State does lose here, I think they should still be ranked because you Arizona, Oregon, Washington, those 3 losses. I think all of them are ranked. And who was their other loss? Do you know?
Who?
Oregon State's loss.
Oregon State lost to Washington State. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Let me double check that.
Because if Oregon State loses against Oregon, it's probably they have 4 losses, and their losses aren't that bad if you think about it.
Oregon State's losses are to number 1 loss, Washington State. Number 2, Arizona. Number 3, Washington. Alrighty. So those are Oregon State's losses. And yeah. The biggest game this year probably. Until next week. I'm saying Alabama, Georgia's bigger one. Yeah. I'm an SEC fan. Get over it. But this is the Big Ten Championship, basically. It is. It really is. They might as well say Big Ten Championship here. But game day's going here. Michigan on the line to win by 3. Jim Harbaugh's not there. I just don't see the way they played last week against Maryland. It just didn't look good. Michigan's not going to win here. It's going to be Ohio State by 3 or 7. It's gonna be Ohio State. Now Michigan, I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan wins though, but I think Ohio State will win. But either way, I wouldn't be shocked by the outcome here though. What do you think, you're ready?
It's at Michigan, so their crowd's gonna be really loud because I saw highlights of the 2021 game and
21.
they were going insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Michigan can pull it off. I think probably by 3 points, like a last second field goal or something. So I chose Michigan.
You chose them.
Yeah, right.
That's on Saturday at 12 p.m. And also, that's interfering with my Cats playing the Louisville Cardinals. Now, on the line, Louisville's win by 7.5. Match prediction, Louisville's win. Now, I'm not saying Kentucky's going to win because I'm a Kentucky fan. I would genuinely think Kentucky would win here by a field goal or something. Kentucky's in the SEC. Louisville. Now, I will say this, though. I wouldn't be shocked if Louisville wins either. Louisville has now 2 ranked opponent wins. Not the worst resume. Now, not for playoffs or anything, but resume-wise. One that win against North Carolina State now, who's now ranked, and Notre Dame. What do you think here, Brady?
I think Kentucky will have it probably by a touchdown. The reason I think it, because
Louisville, you're a Kentucky fan. You're being biased.
Okay, whatever.
There you go, folks.
All right, I'm just saying Louisville only won by 7 against Virginia. Virginia's not a good team at all. In Kentucky,
and they lost to Pittsburgh, which was embarrassing.
By 17, L's down.
Wow, you're kicked off. You're fired. You're being biased.
What? Oh, Louisville fan over here. I think.
How am I a Louisville fan?
Kentucky
for saying you're being biased. We were trying to not be biased here, Brady.
All right. Whatever.
Well, we're skipping.
Hey, I was gonna talk.
Anyways, Texas A&M at LSU. Texas A&M coach got fired, thrown into the dumpster. All right, so LSU is gonna win here. And Florida State needs LSU to win here for their resume. That's only Florida State's only win. Now they can pick up a win if Louisville wins against Kentucky and they beat Louisville on the ACC championship. That's another win because Florida State's situation is tricky right now. But this is not Florida State's turn to be talked about. So next slide. Your opinion doesn't matter. What? The Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. Alabama will win. That's Alabama just needs to win this week and next week, and they could make the playoffs. Arizona State. Arizona's had a great turnaround this year. Would you agree with that, Brody?
Yeah.
Arizona, I feel like they should be ranked higher. I'd rank them number 13 in my rankings. They could end up top 10. I'm calling it. If they can make the Pac-12 championship, things get interesting. And not playoffs or anything, but things get interesting here for them. They're looking good right now. They're going to beat Arizona State. What do you think, here, Brady?
Yeah, there is a chance for them to get back to a championship, but it's very low because you have Oregon and Washington in the position to probably make it.
That is true.
And they both have to lose or to probably Oregon State. I think Oregon State. No, not Oregon State. Arizona has 2 losses, so I don't think they can clinch it.
Alrighty. BYU at Oklahoma State. So this game right here will be Oklahoma State victory royale, but by 17 it's on the line. BYU, they looked like a good team before, but they just struggled in the Big 12. They'll lose here. What do you think here, Brady?
It could be a little closer, in my opinion, because
your opinion doesn't matter.
Because Oklahoma State did lose 45-3 to UCF. UCF's not a bad school, but UCF.
University of Central Florida, you mean?
Yes.
If I'm gonna play that game, Birmingham University or Birmingham Young University. But yeah, that's all you need to know. University of Vanderbilt at University of Tennessee. Tennessee's gonna win. Would you disagree? It's Vanderbilt. I think everyone gets a broad idea that Vandy's not.
Kentucky even beat them.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying.
Liberty finally ranked, outlasting James Madison for for a Group of 5 team to go into the rankings that are unbeaten. So, do they win? Yes. I'm calling a Liberty to go undefeated this year unless their bowl game is against some good team. They're going 12-0, 13-0, and then they'll go 14-0. They played a really good year. Now, in a weak conference, yes, but they've dominated, though. I'll say that, though. So it's not like they barely won like TCU did in the Big 12, but they've dominated. What would you say here, Brady?
Yeah, Liberty is probably going to get in the Conference USA championship with the win, and I think they'll have a successful season. 12-0, and then 13-0 if they win the Conference USA championship. And I don't know who they can face in the bowl. It's kind of questionable, so we'll see.
Well, it always is because you don't know until they release it. Washington State at Washington. Who will win? Washington. Who do you think, Brady?
I think Washington will win because Washington's a better team and they have I think a potential Heisman winner QB. And then Washington State really hasn't been playing good ever since losing to Arizona, and then I don't know what the other losses, but they
were like 4. They were like 4-1. Then they haven't won ever since. So
they won one game.
So yeah, this game right here, I think upset alert's happening here. I'm calling it. I'm calling the shots here. With Florida State's quarterback, I forgot his name. Whatever his name was.
Jordan Travis.
Whatever. Yeah, that's what Brady says. Yeah, that's his name. I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Don't sue me, please. But, Jordan Travis. So Florida State, QB's out. Florida looked good last week against Missouri. Missouri played bad or anything. Florida is fighting for bowl eligibility. I'm not saying that's going to make it there, and Florida's an SEC team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Florida is not the worst team. I mean, they are, but it's a rivalry. It's at the Swamp too, which gives Florida a huge advantage here. It's only on the line by 6.5. I think if they had their quarterback, it would be by a lot more. So excuse me. So you can see though that they are considering that, and it's going to be a close game. What do you think, you Ray?
I think as we saw against what Florida the team Florida State played last week, they let 13 points at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, they were down. It was like North Alabama they're playing.
Yeah, North Alabama, and they're kind of struggling. And I feel doesn't mean your QB is out. Doesn't mean your defense has to play bad. Their defense. So I think Florida State might not have the defense to win the college football playoff. So this might that game might knock them out from the conversation. Potentially, if Washington wins out, and Florida, I think Washington, if they went out, I think they can get in over Florida State.
You do? All right. Well, next slide. Notre Dame and Stanford. Notre Dame's going to win. Not really much to talk about.
Yep.
Georgia's going to win against Georgia Tech. Georgia just needs to win out and beat Alabama. They're in. Here we go. Clemson and South Carolina. South Carolina, I don't know what to say about you, but South Carolina's might be doing it, winning the rest of their games here and, making a bowl game. But they had that in their way now is a ranked Clemson. Just as they thought they could have it easier, just as they thought things were going their way, Clemson gets ranked. Clemson, I think, is the best 4-loss team. I think they could be ranked number 20. Honestly, I don't know how they have Tennessee at number 21. If they're going to do that, then I think Clemson should be higher anyways. But Clemson's not been bad. Would you agree there, Ray?
Yeah, they have won against North Carolina and Notre Dame.
Their losses are to Florida State, which was only by a field goal.
And then they lost to Duke at the beginning of the season.
But also, this is good for Florida State for Clemson being ranked because that builds onto their resume now, which is what Florida State needs Clemson to win this game. Be as high as ranked as they can, number 20 maybe. But this is good for Florida State. Florida State needs those resume builder wins. But Clemson, their only losses are to Duke, who was not the best, who's not horrible. Florida State, Miami, who was in overtime in North Carolina State. After that, North Carolina State lost. They've switched things around here. But yeah, it's gonna be a close game here. Kansas State and Iowa State. I think Kansas State's gonna win here. Iowa State's had not the worst year. What do you think, Ray?
Well, Iowa State was kind of trying to get in the Big 12 championship, as we saw at like a little earlier. But ever since that, they've just lost a couple games, and then now they're 6-5.
Yeah. Alrighty, big game here. Both teams are 8-3. One team just however happens to just get knocked out just by Clemson. So North Carolina State has done good this year. They're 8-3. I don't know, on the line it's North Carolina to win. Me personally though, I think it'll be North Carolina State to pull off the win here. North Carolina State's done good. What do you think, Ray?
I think North Carolina State can pull off the win. Like 8-3 is not a bad record, and like North Carolina has they have a loss to Georgia Tech and Virginia. And I don't think North Carolina State has those losses. Like
North Carolina has the horrible losses. Let's not forget about that. Like Ray mentioned, is against Virginia, Georgia Tech, and who's the other one?
Clemson.
Clemson, yeah. Clemson's not a bad
Clemson's not a bad team.
So I think that's where we're going at here, folks, and that's where you have it. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And remember, guys, if you're a sports fan, just do it. Make your dreams come true. Now, that will be it for today. As I said, like and subscribe. If you enjoy this content, it'll help grow our channel and to other people. And check out our new videos will be coming out soon of simulating the 2014 season is what we've chosen. We'll probably talk about tomorrow, have a video talking about the playoffs and the scenarios that await us now and conference championships that are coming into play. And we'll see you soon.
See you later.